Hi everyone, welcome to Tiny Record Time, the small music show for big music listeners. I'm Josh, and today's episode is part 3 of records from my record collection that have songs on them that are at least one side of an LP. Now this includes stuff like Inagad, Vita, or Thick as a Brick by Jethro Tull. So without wasting too much time, again, let's get started. First up, we have NoFX's The Decline, and it is a crazy punk song. It's an epic, I say, coming in at 18 minutes and 20 seconds, and it's one of NoFX's best known songs. It talks about gun violence, the U.S. government, conformity, and plenty of other topics. It's crazy. You wouldn't expect him to have a song like this, because most of the songs are 2 to 3 minutes long, and this is just a fun one. They rarely perform it live, though. They did perform it, though, back in 2019 at Red Rocks Amphitheater in California and in Portland, Oregon at Punk and Drublic festivals, both having full orchestras, which I gotta say is pretty epic. I wish I could have been there. And this is actually the song that got me into NoFX, and I even own it on CD. That's how much I love the song. But yeah, and the B-side is Clams Have Feelings Too from their album Pump Up the Volume, or Valium. So yeah, that is NoFX's The Decline. Next up from that skate punk masterpiece, we have the oldest song on our list, Alice's Restaurant by Arlo Guthrie, who was actually Woody Guthrie's son. This song comes in at 18 minutes and 20 seconds. It's from 1967, and it tells the story of two young men getting rid of garbage on Thanksgiving for their friend Alice, who owns the restaurant, hence the song title. However, the dump is closed on Thanksgiving, so they throw it off a ledge. And then the cops find out, and then they go to jail, they get arrested, and then they go to court, and then they have to pay a $50 fine and pick up the garbage. But then Arlo jumps to the draft, and he was got all well drunk and all that fun stuff, so he looked terrible, so he wouldn't have to go to war in Vietnam when this the song takes place. But he's unsuccessful until they ask him if he's been arrested or been to court. And he says yes to both of them, and he goes to one of the other rooms, and it's just a fun song. It's a great song. You cannot go wrong with Alice's Restaurant, because even at the end, it's just a nice sing-along. Saying you can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. It's, I love it. I love the song. It's one of those early folk songs I really got into, and even the folk punk band AJJ, or Andrew Jackson Jihad, mentions this song in their song Survival Song off their album People Who Can Eat People Are the Luckiest People in the World, a reference to Barbra Streisand's song People. But you gotta love it. You can't go wrong with Alice's Restaurant. I love it. You should love it too. Next up, we have one of two songs from this record that will be featured in this series, and it is I Don't Love You by the Allman Brothers Band from their album Live at the Fillmore East. It's an amazing blues jam, one of the best blues albums I think there are. They're at least live blues albums. Coming in at 19 minutes and 6 seconds, this song is just phenomenal. It's so good, and it's even got a gatefold. Look at that picture. Epic. It's fun. It's amazing. So, you can't go wrong with You Don't Love Me by the Allman Brothers Band, and it takes the entire second side of this record, and there are 4 sides to this. Next up, from that awesome blues jam, is the first 20-minute song in this series, and that's Rush's 2112, the sci-fi epic that saved the band. So, prior to this album being released, they had the album Crest of Steel, which is pretty good. I really like it. But it was a flop when it came out, and fans didn't go to the shows as much, and the record label was losing a little bit of money because Rush wasn't getting enough sales from Crest of Steel. So they their manager convinced Mercury Records to hold them on for just one more album, and Mercury was like, all right, fine. So they recorded this. They didn't want to do another poppy Led Zeppelin-y blues rocky album. They wanted to do the more prog stuff, and that's exactly what they did with this 20-minute song. I think it's 20 minutes and 38 seconds or something like that. It's a crazy long song, and it's just sci-fi madness, but awesome progressive rock. Maybe it's like 20 minutes and 20-something seconds. I don't know. But it's a great, crazy good song. Can't go wrong. Rest in peace, Neil Peart, one of the best drummers on the planet, or ever. So, this is amazing. And Rush, after releasing this album, was able to stick on for 10 more records with Mercury until they released Presto, which was on Atlantic back in, I think it was like 1988 or 89. So, this is such a saving grace for the band. Got them a huge breakthrough in the U.S. and around the world, and it's just an amazing album. Now, finally, for this this episode, we have Tarkus by Emerson, Lake and Palmer, the epic of sorts, a 7-part epic written mostly by Keith Emerson, except Battlefield is written by Greg Lake, with this fantastic armadillo tank artwork on the front and on the inside. I mean, it's the whole story of it in just a few pictures. Absolutely fantastic. The song is about this armadillo, being born in a time before history, and he fights all these different creatures and animal things, and at the end he fights the manticore. The manticore is actually a scorpion lion type thing, as you can see right there. Very cool, very weird, but yeah. But Manticore is also a label in the UK for progressive rock and hard rock music. I don't think it's still active, but it was. Emerson, Lake and Palmer also released some stuff on Manticore. But at the end of the song, the Tarkus, he loses to the Manticore, and then descends into water and becomes the Aqua Tarkus, which is a pretty cool ending. And it also almost broke the band up too, because Keith Emerson wanted to do all this by himself, and Greg Lake was not having it. He almost left the band because Greg Lake really wanted to do some solos and really some crazy technical stuff, because he was a guitarist, but Keith Emerson, the pianist, he just wanted to do a lot of himself. And Carl Palmer, he was just doing whatever he wanted, doing what he could, stayed in the band. But luckily the band stayed together and made this album. It's just fantastic. It's just amazing. So that is it for this episode number 3 of songs that last at least one side of an LP. And I'll try to get part 4 out soon. But thank you for watching. This has been Time Record Time. I am Josh. And make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. So thanks for watching.